أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم.
Assalamu alaikum. Today we're going to be talking about the Isti'aadhah, and this is the seeking of refuge with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala before we start reciting the Quran. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, A'udhu billahi min shaitanir rajim, in the Quran, Surah Al-Nahl, ayah number 98. فَإِذَا قَرَأْتَ الْقُرْآنَ فَاسْتَعِذْ بِاللَّهِ مِنَ الشَّيْطَانِ الرَّجِيمِ. And when you go to recite the Quran, then seek refuge with Allah from the shaitan, the outcast. So this, inshallah, we're going to learn to pronounce it correctly and properly. I'm going to say it 5 times. So pay attention, inshallah, to how I say it, how I move my mouth, and how the voice is coming from my mouth. And I know many people, they believe, or they believe they're saying this correctly, but unfortunately they're making very simple mistakes. So inshallah, just pay attention to how I say it first, inshallah, and then afterwards we'll look at some common mistakes that people make. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. 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 And this, as we mentioned, means I seek refuge with Allah from a shaitan, the devil, the outcast. He is the outcasted one, thrown out of heaven, thrown out of the heavens. He was outcast. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala asked us in the Quran to recite this verse, or this segment, A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, before we recite any of the Quran. So let's get into some common mistakes. And actually, what I'd like you to do first is to actually rewind the video and go back and listen to myself reciting A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, and listen to it 5 times, and then you see yourself if you can recite it. And you can actually use the plugin below to record your voice, using a microphone to record your voice, and hear back and compare and contrast with my recitation and your own. And after you've done that, come back to this point in the video, and then inshallah we can go over some common mistakes. Alright, so let's go over some common mistakes. I hope inshallah that you've already rewound and practiced yourself. Now, this is here to refine your recitation of this portion, the Isti'aadhah. So first mistake, A'udhu. A'udhu. This is the first segment of the Isti'aadhah. A'udhu. Commonly people say A'udhu. A'udhu. A'udhu is incorrect. It's A'udhu. And inshallah I'll show you the written version. If you could just follow along, I'll be pointing out the written version also. A'udhu. There's a dhamma, or there's a dhamma on the ayn. For those of you who know how to read Arabic, there's a dhamma in the ayn, which means you make the ru sound. So a'udhu, and the last letter is dhu. So some people have difficulty. They say zu. Zu is incorrect. Zu is where you put the animals, but instead, if you take your tongue and put it right there, and you try to say zu, you'll say it correctly. So dhu. A'udhu. That's simple, right? A'udhu. The next segment is billahi. Billahi. Some people might mistakenly say billahi. This is incorrect. The lam has to be light. So billahi. A'udhu billahi minash shaitan. Again, it's not shaitan, it's shaitan. Watch my mouth as it expands. Shaitanir rajim. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. That's easy enough, inshallah. If you have any questions or concerns, what I'd like you to do is rewind and listen to the segment where I'm reciting it 5 times. Once you've heard me say it, then you try to practice reciting it, and then record your own voice, compare and contrast with my recitation, and then once you think you've got it, go ahead and record the segment using the plugin below, and then inshallah hit submit, and I'd like to hear your recitation, and then we can refine it even further if needed. Jazakallah khair. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم